So yeah, just going to give you my thoughts, analysis and reaction, performance rating and my man of the match to that pre-season friendly. Wolves' main pre-season friendly, 1 week out from Leeds. It's finished. Wolves 1, Sporting Lisbon 1. Quite a decent crowd, lots of Sporting fans travelling down to that stadium, which is a nice little stadium. Quite a few Wolves fans made the trip over to Portugal as well. And it was a proper friendly in terms of the fact that it was got a bit little feisty. There was certainly something on it. And yeah, it was a really good game. And it was really interesting for me to see what the starting lineup would be, because I believe that whatever the starting lineup would be is probably the starting lineup that's going to be Bruno will go with next week for the first match of the Premier League season away at Ellen Road against Leeds. And it was Sarr in goal, a back four of Aït-Nouri, Johnny Otto, but the two centre-backs, interestingly, were Kilman and Collins. No starting lineup for Conor Cody. Interesting. It was a 4-3-3, Dendoncker, Neves and Moutinho in the middle, and the forward line was Podence, Neto and Gibbs-White. Podence playing as a bit of a false nine, really. And to be fair, I thought Wolves definitely were the better side in the first half. Some of the play was fantastic. Some of the link-up play, the one-touch football. The front three were very fluid. And it was good to watch. It was good to watch. And that sort of play got us a penalty after about 15 minutes. Foul on Pedro Neto. It was a definite penalty. The referee called it really, really well. Instinctively, you thought it was a corner, but he clipped Pedro Neto's ankle before any contact with the ball. And Neves, in the absence of Raul Jimenez, stepped up. It was a good penalty, put it away. And Wolves continued to dominate pretty much in the first half. But we did have some warnings from Sporting. There was one penalty appeal that was turned down rightly. And then it was a bit of a rash challenge from Nathan Collins. Conceded a penalty on about the 43rd minute. Sporting converted that. And we went in at 1-1 at half-time. But it was like some good promising. I thought that, other than that, we weren't really troubled at the back. There's one really good move where Morgan Gibbs-White chipped the ball over to the back post. Then Dendoncker came in on it. And Morgan certainly looked lively, as did all the front three, really. Going into the second half, continued with the same team. Don't think Wolves dominated as much in the second half. I thought Sporting came more into it. More of an even game. We didn't really create any clear-cut major opportunities. We didn't really hurt Sporting that much. Wang came on at one point, I think, for Pedro Neto. He had probably the best chance of the second half. It's a good through ball. Didn't really control it. Had to turn back in. He then turned and pivoted. Got the shot on target, but by that time there was a man on the line and he headed it away. Sporting had a couple of chances. Of course, Trincao was playing for them as well. Mateus Nunes playing for Sporting as well. Wolves have been strongly linked with him. He was interesting to watch him play. And probably overall, I guess probably a draw was probably a fair side. If any side deserved to probably shade it, was probably on the whole 90, it was probably Wolves. Kilman came off late on. Cody came on. And there's a few changes. You saw Chem Campbell come on. He did a little nice cameo as well. But yeah, it was really interesting to see the starting lineup. There's a lot of minutes got in the legs. There is another game, friendly game tomorrow, but it'd be a much changed side against the second division Portuguese. Most of the players that didn't play tonight will probably almost certainly play in that. They're not going to, play. Most of the players that played tonight, they'll be resting up. And then it'll be back over to Compton, training in the build-up to the Leeds game. Well, but the main thing is obviously that central striker position. We don't have one really, other than say Chem Campbell. Wang, someone can argue could play that, but he isn't a Raul Jimenez. He doesn't hold the ball up quite as well, and it kind of showed. And that's the big concern. To me, if we could get a striker in and another midfielder, I think we'd have a really strong squad. Obviously, a long way to go with the transfer window, but the first game of the season is next week. Will there be any incomings before next week? How long is Raul going to be out for? Rumoured up to 8 weeks, but Daniela went on, didn't she? She went on online, so to speak, to say that it wasn't as bad, so maybe he'll be back sooner. But yeah, I'm going to give my performance rating a 7. I'm going to give my man of the match, because I thought he had a good game, to Morgan. What do you agree with me? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and leave your thoughts on all of these issues. Hope you've liked my thoughts, my analysis. And yeah, until the next one, I'm Dazzling Dave. Always Wolves.